We're back for another edition of the Cup of Joe show. I'm Joe. This is Jeremy. I'll never do that again. Alright. So we have a jam-packed show today. Actually, we don't, but I'm sure it'll last 20 minutes anyway. We didn't get a chance to get out to any movies. I think that's okay because there wasn't really anything in that was too great, so we are going to just pass it over to the box office and Jeremy Evans.
Alright, well, I am feeling a tad under the weather, so I apologize if I don't bring my usual brand of enthusiasm to this, because, I'm always so energetic.
Very.
Okay. So, last weekend we'll start with number 5. That was 300 Rise of an Empire. That was down 56% to 8.5 million, bringing its total to 93.6. That's pretty good. Obviously still a far cry from the original 300, but it's not bad. And then in 4th place we had quite the surprise here from the film God's Not Dead. This opened to 9.2 million. It was in just 780 theaters, and so that gave it the second highest per theater average in the top 10, behind only our number 1 film. That kind of came out of nowhere. I mean, I certainly didn't expect it to. I didn't expect it to make the top 10. Never mind open in 4th. So that was a surprise. Number 3rd went to Mr. Peabody and Sherman. That fell 46% to 11.8. It has grossed 81.1 million. I don't think that drop is too disconcerting, especially considering the direct competition faced by our number 2 movie, which was Muppets Most Wanted, and that opened to 17 million, which is definitely disappointing. The first one, I don't remember offhand, but I'm pretty sure it was somewhere between 25 and 30 million for the opening. That was after opening on a Wednesday, too, so the weekend proper was diluted. So, yeah, that's not very good. I find it odd that Mr. Peabody and Sherman could open to significantly higher than the Muppets. I would have thought Muppets were more popular than like B characters from Rocky and Bullwinkle, but it happens. That brings us to our number 1 film, which was Divergent. That opened to 54.6 million, which is solid. It's it's not. I mean, obviously, it was never going to be like Harry Potter or Hunger Games big. It was even off a bit from the 69 million opening of the first Twilight movie, but well, I mean, it's a hell of a lot better than pretty much like every other young adult fiction that's come out recently that isn't one of the aforementioned movies. So, this could well be the start of a new franchise here.
Oh, yay! Well, there's the box office from Jeremy Evans, and
That's me.
Yep, and that's the reason people read our website. So, kudos.
Both of them.
Both. Yes. So, trying to think here. Yeah, I thought the Muppets would have made more, but maybe people were turned off by the sequel. Sequel. That's the only thing I remember from the trailer. So, I don't know, but yeah, I definitely thought it would have made more. Other than that, Peabody and Sherman still going strong.
It is doing well, yeah.
And Divergent. Do we have to see that, or is that
I don't know. It depends on how it holds this weekend. I would say if it holds better than 38%, we have to go see it.
Okay.
If the drop is more than that, we don't.
Okay. Mark, you've heard it here. A promise is a promise. 38%. I really hope that doesn't hold. So, yeah. I thought that movie was going to crash and burn.
Yeah.
but it didn't. Shows you how much I know about the box office, which is nothing.
Well, I mean, the thing about Divergent that separates it, I mean, for all these young adult movies, basically what plays into them is the existing fan base, and I mean, some of these other books have done decently well, like The Mortal Instruments and Beautiful Creatures and things like that. So like they've done well enough, but they are not phenomenon. Wait, what is the plural phenomenon? Sensations. But yeah, so Divergent is like kind of in the middle between like the upper tier, which is Twilight, Harry Potter, and the Hunger Games, and the lower tier, which is most of the crap that we've seen lately. So I suppose it's about time that something actually opened like in the 50 million range and kind of bridged that gap.
That's true. That's true. I'm with you.
And I suppose another thing that Divergent had going for it is it had like at least a somewhat recognizable cast. Had Kate Winslet in there, and Shailene Woodley is she's becoming quite a bit more well known. Although apparently, she's playing Mary Jane Watson in the new Spider-Man series, but every single one of her scenes got cut out from The Amazing Spider-Man 2. So I guess they'll be there in part 3.
Well, that makes no sense, but yeah.
I guess it's just. I mean, I assume it was the kind of thing where they just wanted to like introduce Mary Jane's character, so she wasn't, just to like not have her just show up in part 3, which is what's going to happen now. But yeah, apparently, maybe if they didn't have like 14 villains in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, they might have had time to squeeze in Mary Jane a little. I don't know.
That's true. Look, just 6, okay? They've only shown 3, but there's going to be 6. So, yeah, that's the box office. Other than that, we have to look ahead. We have to look ahead to the weekends, the movies that came out this weekend.
Yes.
Yesterday.
Movies usually do that.
Movies. I'm just stalling.
Yes. He's stalling.
Just a second.
It's taking you to the mobile site, I see.
Yeah. How about that?
Of course.
Never does that. Oh.
I wonder if there's some way to just turn that off, like in the settings of the iPhone, that it doesn't take you to mobile websites.
That's true. There should be. Oh, and I went to the regular site, and it asked me if I wanted to go back to the mobile site. I know you can't see this, but I'm just going to keep doing this. It's asking me to go back to the mobile site that I just said I didn't want to go to. So,
I'm pretty sure we said this last week, or at least in some previous show, but Rotten Tomatoes, your mobile site is absolute garbage.
yes, it really is.
It's a worthless piece of crap.
There you go. Very good.
I tell it like it is.
That's right. You wanted to say something else, but you didn't. So that's good. All right. You know what? Let's start with Sabotage.
Okay.
With Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
And Sam Worthington's in it too.
Oh, good. He's
Yes.
alive.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Jeez. Sabotage boasts one of Arnold Schwarzenegger's finer post-political performances. Jeez. But it's wasted in a movie driven by grueling violence that punishes seemingly without purpose.
Okay.
Yeah, I started seeing trailers for this one, and I can't take a movie seriously that Arnold Schwarzenegger is in, and it looks like this movie is trying to take itself seriously with Arnold Schwarzenegger in it, and I just don't think, I think that's a very difficult sell, and I think it will crash and burn.
Probably, yeah. I would say like 10-ish million for the opening.
Mm-hmm. So, that's all we have to say about that. Now this one, Bad Words, with Jason Bateman, his first directorial debut. People have the weirdest directorial debuts.
Directorial?
Yes. I shorten it for purposes because I can't speak. Yeah, I've seen the trailer for this, and I didn't even realize this movie was coming out till like this week. But I've seen a few trailers, and honestly, it could be funny, but it's just like the setting is so like dark and brown, and it bothers me. It like the setting is just like horrible. The colors are like darkness and brown, like that UPS brown, and it's just like that's all it is, and it really bothers me when I'm watching the trailer. So I can't imagine seeing the movie. Although it has potential to be funny, because Jason Bateman is very good in every movie in which he portrays Jason Bateman.
Which is every movie that he's in.
Except Dodgeball. That's it.
True.
Yeah, it has potential. If you don't mind the color scheme. That's it.
Okay. To be honest, I didn't really know what Bad Words was. I had heard of it, but I didn't really know what it was. I hadn't seen any commercials or anything, but I don't really watch TV.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a movie about a guy who Jason Bateman enters a spelling bee, and he never I guess he never passed the 8th grade, so he was allowed to be in the spelling bee.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. I don't know.
All right.
But it could be funny, but it's odd. It's an odd color scheme.
I read you.
I'll show you the trailer.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really odd. Okay, moving on, we have Noah, which came out yesterday.
Yeah.
With sweeping visuals grounded by strong performances in service of a timeless tale told on a human scale. Darren Aronofsky. No, it's
Wait,
Aronofsky.
Yeah, I am pronouncing that wrong.
Yeah.
You are right.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Noah brings the Bible epic into the 21st century. If that means that Noah is a wizard, that's what the trailer makes him out to be. It has a 76% here, which is pretty good at Rotten Tomatoes. And I don't know. I'm not pulled in. I'm not pulled into the film. I don't understand what's going to happen that's going to be that exciting, although the trailer makes it seem like there's going to be like a battle, which makes sense, actually. I don't really remember any. All in the biblical story, you just remember like he gets on the ark and he gets the animals and that's it, and no one else wants to get on the ark. So I think it's an interesting take on it to say like, we want to survive, we want to get on the ark, and so it does make sense, but I am not I'm not pulled in, although I might end up seeing it. I'm not excited about it.
Well, I do think this is it's an interesting project for, how do you pronounce that last name?
Aronofsky.
Aronofsky, right. Okay, I've been saying it wrong all these years. Anyway, it's an interesting project for him because usually he takes on much, I guess, smaller scope movies. I mean, he's done Requiem for a Dream, The Wrestler, Black Swan, things like that. So he tends to tackle like addiction and obsession a lot, and they're usually fairly grounded movies. Even though Black Swan was absolutely absurd, it still wasn't. It didn't have like explicitly supernatural things going on in it, or maybe it did. I don't know. That movie was weird. But actually, The Fountain, which was another movie of his, was complete. Well, it was very much sci-fi. So I'm just kind of destroying my own argument here. That said, I do think Noah is a bit of a different project for him, but I do Black Swan aside, I do like him as a director, and I like most of his work. So I'd be willing to give this one a chance. It's I do think it's cool to see like kind of an updated, different take on a classic story. Whereas the recent Son of God was just the story of Jesus. Just basically told in like the exact same way. We've seen it over and over and over again. Almost like Ernest to a fault. Noah, takes some liberties with the story. So I don't know if hardcore Christians are going to go for it, but at the same time, I think more mainstream audiences will be receptive.
Right. This will definitely have a better turnout than Son of God.
Yes.
For those reasons. I don't understand direct. I wish all directors could just decide to be good all the time, like Christopher Nolan. What annoys me is that directors come out with their first groundbreaking film, and it's wonderful, and then for some reason, a lot of them just end up doing this complete 180 and make one of the most hated films you've ever seen in your life. And I don't know whether to still like the person or hate them, and it's a very difficult thing to. I won't go Zack Snyder, although he has fallen off. Although I did like the Superman movie, he definitely fell off from Watchmen. I thought his peak was Watchmen, and then he just kind of faded. But I want to go Roland Emmerich. Independence Day is a fantastic film. Everything else he's made is garbage, unless I'm missing something.
Well, 10,000 BC was garbage. 2012, garbage.
Worst movie I've ever seen.
The Day After Tomorrow is watchable.
It's watchable.
The Day After Tomorrow isn't that bad.
No, it's not.
That's all I can think of.
The one that just came out, White House Down.
Oh yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, but I guess for the most part, I hated 10,000 BC and 2012. 2012 is my least favorite movie ever. I don't know if I've said this on the show before, but I've never seen people actually leave before the credits started rolling in a film. Everyone started to leave the film 2012 before the credit. And granted, it was like a few. It wasn't that long. It was like 30 seconds before the credits actually started to roll. But like everyone was out. CinemaSins just did a 20-minute everything wrong with 2012, which is quite funny, and shares all our thoughts about the film. So it's it's great. I suggest to watch it. There's Roland Emmerich. What's his face? Cuarón.
Oh, Alfonso Cuarón.
Yes, there you go. Gravity, but people love that, so
Well, people also love Black Swan and
Aronofsky.
Yeah,
there you go. Mm-hmm.
Though nobody likes 2012 except Roger Ebert, but
right. Rest in peace, Roger. He's dead, right?
Yeah, he's dead.
I do miss your reviews that were completely wrong, but you got some right. You did get some right.
I did respect Roger Ebert's candor and his I don't care what you think of my reviews attitude. I disagreed with him all the time, but he, to his credit, the man did not care, and he was a good writer.
Oh, definitely.
He really was.
Definitely. I agree. We've reached the end of our show, is what I'm trying to say. And so I hope you guys, get out to a movie. I understand if you decide to watch the games tonight, though. It's been another exciting tournament. Dayton's in the Elite Eight. Who knew? Hopefully they just win it all, and that would help all of us, because no one has Dayton. So... we'll see what happens, but until then, we will see you next week. Have a good week.